Today my topic is sustainable website design. Today we are going to cover these topics like what is sustainable website design and what is sustainable and why we need a sustainable design and what are all the principles of sustainable website design and how we can build a sustainable website and what are the do's and don'ts while building a sustainable website. So these five topics I'm going to cover. So before getting into what is sustainable website design, we just want to know how website works, like not a sustainable website, an ordinary website, or how internet works, and what are all the things now currently internet is doing to the environment. So I think everyone is aware of how a website works. A normal website, how it works means it is a back and forth communication between the browser and server. So this process of sending request and receiving a request from the server is the process of website how works. So in this slide, you can clearly see how the browser is sending a HTTP request to the server and how the server is sending response to this HTTP request and all. So, simply saying browser server communication is the process of how website works. So, let's say an individual in his laptop screen in his browser just typing www.venzo technologies or some specific URL in his browser and hitting the button enter. This will send a HTTP request to the browser server where the website is hosted and it's the data for the specific web page, and in response it gives the server the specific web page data and the browser will show the web page to the user. So this is the whole process, and we all know that this whole process takes few seconds or several seconds for this whole process. So now today the carbon emission of an ordinary website which is not sustainable, which emits 4.61 grams of carbon dioxide per page view, or not for a whole website, only for a single page view. While let's say while we are opening a URL, Venzo technology only for the home page, it emits 4.61 grams average of carbon dioxide for per page view. So globally, if we calculate this internet is emitting 3.7 global percentage of global carbon emission, the total internet is emitting. So this is what the environment is getting polluted because of internet and websites and web pages and all. So this is the data. So reducing these things and making more greener and reducing the emission of carbon dioxide is the concept of sustainable website design. So simply saying reducing the energy consumption while we are accessing internet or while we are accessing a website, and in terms it reduces the carbon emission. This is the main concept, or this is an approach of sustainable website design. So does anyone have any questions till now? Now we know what is sustainable website design. Only the main purpose of sustainable website design is to minimize the energy consumption of a website and minimizing the carbon dioxide emission. So why we need a sustainable website design? If we minimize the energy consumption and minimize the carbon dioxide emission, it will definitely benefit our environment. So that was the main reason, first reason. And in terms, if let's say we are typing www.venzotechnologies.com and the browser is sending request to the server and the server is sending response to the browser. This whole time takes at least 2 seconds. Maybe let's say while you are hitting the button enter, immediately in point 2 seconds, if the website appears in the browser, it definitely increases the user experience. So making a ordinary website into a sustainable website and making it to load faster and without any uncluttered interface, this is the in terms of user experience, we also have benefits. So in terms of environment and in terms of user experience, we have benefits while we are going for a sustainable website design. So principles of sustainable website design. So if we have three main principles of sustainable website design, that is efficiency and responsiveness and optimization. So efficiency in terms of optimizing the code we can get, and in terms of responsiveness, yeah,
Ahmad, sorry for interrupting you.
yeah,
You mean you say that, right? The emissions of when we use the internet, right? The
mm,
internet is the source of the internet. I mean, we are using the power, right? The
of
energy.
course, yeah.
Yeah, the source of the internet. Okay, somewhere, okay, we are using the solar. Okay, this is also emitting the power emissions, CO2.
Somewhere, you mean solar means I
Yeah,
can't
the source
understand.
of
Sorry.
you mean that, okay, somewhere, okay, they are using the solar power to get the
Uh,
power, right? So
Sumar,
to
Karthik here, Sumar. Can I answer
y-
this question?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yes, yes,
So,
Karthik, yeah.
yeah,
Mm.
typically, Ahmed is going to discuss about in the upcoming slides. Of course, like when you use the main power as a solar or renewable energy power, it will not emit CO2 on the major thing. So,
Okay,
typically, it
okay.
works in such way like where we also suggest hosting provider or the deployments, everything will be in renewable energy that attracts more points toward your sustainable designs. So now
Okay, okay.
he's talking about the design. Probably the next few slides he may talk about the recommendations in the development and then recommendations in the hosting.
Okay, okay. Why
Right?
I am asking that? Okay, because we are using the paper, right? That's what we are
Mm-hmm.
moving to the digital digitization. Okay, that's
Mm-hmm.
what. Why we are using move to the digitization if we're emitting the CO2. So
Yeah,
most
yeah,
of we are using the internet from mobile and IoT devices. That's what I'm
yes,
asking. Yeah.
yes, yes.
Okay, I
There are
got it.
there
Yeah.
are different strategies to control CO2 emissions. That's what like we're trying to address from whatever we do in the website designs and development stages.
Okay. Okay. I understand.
Yeah,
Okay. I'm excited to go for
yeah.
next slide. Yeah.
Yeah,
Thank
sure,
you.
Okay.
sure.
Thank you, guys. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bye. Mm.
So in responsiveness, we will in terms of design, we give several design specific separate design for mobile and in for tablet and in desktop screens. So this also comes under the principle of sustainable design and optimization. So optimizing the code, optimizing the images, optimizing the videos. So these three is the main principle of sustainable design. So in the upcoming slides, I will discuss in detail how we can achieve the sustainable website design. So now we will get a question. So how we can build a sustainable website which is completely sustainable. So not only in terms of design, not only in terms of development, and in terms of hosting. So if we need a complete sustainable design, we have several sets of guidelines to be followed in terms of design, development, and while hosting a website also, we have several guidelines. So let's see. First, we see in terms of design. In terms of design, the first thing is in nowadays you see no websites is in the internet without images. So importing images into a web design is very important, and we need to choose a right format and a right size so that this will reduce the loading speed, so that it will in terms it reduces the energy consumption. So let's say if we use a JPEG image or PNG image, it the file size will be increased, and the energy consumption to for this website or to get the website load, it gets increased, so that the carbon dioxide emission will be higher. While we are going with formats like WebP and AVIF, these formats, the special thing in this format is they are superior compression. So without losing quality, we can get a low sized image in this formats. So in our digital marketing team, nowadays we are adapting these formats while building websites. So it is also more efficient to get the website loaded in the browser. And in terms of large size images, we can use specific size for desktop and specific size for the tablet and specific size for mobile screens. By choosing the specific sizes, we can also reduce the loading time, and in terms of carbon emission also it gets reduced. So image optimization is the main thing here. And in terms of video, while we are coming to video optimization, the same thing applies here. So in video also we have specific formats to be used in the website. So like MP4 and WebM format will definitely go well with sustainable website design. So these formats are widely supported all over the world, and it gives a good compression compared to the older formats. So as designers, we sometimes think whether this video is adding value to the website, whether this video is necessary. If it is definitely necessary, then we will go with the video. Or if it is 50% it is necessary and it is not a necessary 50% means, then we will go with some well crafted images, or we will go with light weighted gifs or animations. So that gives this also makes the website loads faster. So while designing for a website, we will think of these things. While designing specifically for sustainability, we will think of these things, and choosing those formats will be good to go with a sustainable website design. Yeah. In terms of animation, so in while creating a website, the developers and designers will definitely have a fight because of this particular thing. We will design something fancy animations here and there, and the developer will say no, this is not possible and we can't do this thing. Of course it also affects the loading speed, and it also increases the code, and of course it also emits many carbon dioxide. So we just want to consider whether it is necessary, or whether we can it truly adds value, or if we can avoid it. If we can avoid it, we can definitely avoid it, and we can make the website more sustainable. And instead of using many heavy animations, we can use some smooth micro interactions here and there, and some small hover animations, and we can code it directly into the style sheet, so that the http request will be reduced, so that the loading speed will get increased, and it definitely give results to the sustainability. So this is how we choose animations in terms of design. And in terms of color, so for an ordinary website which is not sustainable, we can choose any color in design perspective. Like, but we need to follow the web guidelines. Basically in the web guidelines, it definitely comes ma- all the colors will come under the web guidelines, so that we have a wide range of choice choosing those colors. But in terms of sustainable website design, the designers will be having many limitations. They are restricted while choosing the colors, because while we are choosing bright colors, the system, the monitor or the phone displays those colors in the website, will consume more energy, and in return it also emits more carbon dioxide. So in terms of sustainable website design, while we are designing for sustainable website, we are restricted to choose only minimal colors. Like, we just want to go with darker colors or muted colors. Muted colors is these are the muted colors. For example, I kept here. So for darker colors, let's say in iPhone and all, we have today, if we are choosing pure black, then the pixels in the iPhone will be zero at that specific point, in the display. So there is no energy consumption in that specific area where we are choosing the black colors and all. While we are going with brighter colors, then it consumes more energy from the battery. So this is the concept. So in color theory also, we need to choose wisely the muted colors and the dark colors. Instead of going with pure white, we can go with off whites and light grays. So because the pure white emits more energy. Okay. In terms of typography, we need to go with only the system fonts or the Google fonts because it is globally accepted and it is lightweighted. These fonts are, for example, Arial, Times New Roman, Calibri. These fonts are lightweighted and it is global fonts. So these are pre-installed and in webs it works well. So the loading times will get reduced so that if we are going with a custom font or we are going with a specific fancy font, the installing these fonts will be file size of these fonts will be larger, so that it definitely affects the loading speed and it definitely affects the energy consumption. So instead of going with fancy fonts, we can go with general fonts like system fonts, Google fonts and all. So it will definitely helpful for the sustainable website design. Till now I only discussed about the design side perspective. Now we can go, we see that we need to code it in a right way and we need to optimize these codes because in terms of development also there are some guidelines, but I'm not going to talk in detail here about the development. We need to optimize, for example, we are using a website builder like WordPress. If we are using a plugin, that plugin will contain many unwanted things. We will use that plugin only for specific thing, but the plugin will contain that thing as well as the many files in it. So this will make the website heavy. So instead of going with this, we can go with a custom code and we can have a freedom there. So we in custom code we can have only the things that we want to do. So that we need to optimize the code and we need to make the website loads faster. In terms of hosting a website, we need to search and host it in a green hosting provider like for example green geeks and green host and host papa. There are many green hosting providers. So while we are hosting the website in these hosting providers, then in the backend also we are providing a, sustainability, and in front end also we are following these guidelines in terms of design and development, so that completely the whole website will be in a green manner and it will be a sustainable website. So this is how we can achieve sustainability in terms of website building. So now we get to know about what are all the do's we can make in the sustainable website. So choosing the right image for the website and choosing the right video, lightweighted animations we can use, sustainable colors, going with the sustainable colors, and only the system fonts are the lightweighted fonts, and we are hosting the website in a green hosting provider. So these are the do's that we can do so that we can achieve the sustainability. And in don'ts, instead of choosing PNG, we can avoid these formats and all, and unoptimized and auto playing videos and all we can avoid, and heavy animations and large sized GIF, and instead of using the colors with white and bright colors, we can go with muted colors, and of course heavy fonts, custom fonts we can avoid. So these are the don'ts we can do to achieve a sustainable website. So any questions?